Happy holiday Blackout week. I hope we're all enjoying staying at home, being cozy with our family and friends, and not spending any dollars. I'm here with your Metatron non-news to keep our spirits up. Let's start with the best story, Mexican Spider-Man. If you don't know this story, you need to know this story. And as a lot of, as per usual, like many of my stories, it's a story that's a sad story, but it has a silver lining, or it has a perspective we can look at it from, which is positive. That's what I do, right? I'm a psychic medium, medical intuitive, I'm a storyteller, and I like to help people look at the spiritual significance of the political situation we find ourselves in. So who is Mexican Spider-Man? Okay, first of all, that's the name he gave himself. It's not the name I gave him. His name is Christian Rodriguez, and he saved a bunch of people in San Jose during a mass shooting attempt in a mall. All these people were running. He led them to an exit. The exit was blocked. He said he used his soccer moves because he used to play soccer, and that didn't work. He tried some of his football moves, and that didn't work. And then he found a bowling ball and crashed through a window, and all these people were able to escape because of him. And, we got to focus on that. Oftentimes when we talk about these mass shootings, we're all focused on the shooter, this terrible person that did this terrible thing. But sometimes I think we should focus on the heroes, focus on the people who helped people out, who helped save people. There's always a hero in these stories. And now let's talk about Black Friday. It was supposed to be a thing, right? Used to be a thing. Wasn't really a thing this year, but put in the comments whether you have some more intel on that. I've been looking at videos. I've seen a lot of videos of empty stores, and I've also seen people talking about how people didn't go and how there weren't long lines. There was apparently a little bit of a long line at Target where some people got hoodwinked into standing in line in the cold for some goodie bag that had like 3 objects in it. I don't know who those fools were, but they're obviously not a part of the movement. However, they might be, because I did hear some people on these TikTok streets talking about, oh, I went and got my goodie bag and then I went home. I didn't spend any dollars. And I saw one reporter today projecting a $6 billion loss from all of the shopping that did not happen on Friday. Now stay strong, people, because we got Cyber Monday coming up, and we're not even going to stay at home and shop online. As easy as that is, you don't have to brave the weather, you don't have to get dressed, you don't have to put on pants. Still, we're not doing that either. But let's talk about some other good non-news. So, for example, we had something happening in, I think it was Minnesota. Was it Minnesota? No, it was Indiana and Minnesota. It involved both states, the lovely Midwest, where I'm from, although I'm a Cali girl now. So there was apparently this red hat lawmaker in Indiana who said, listen, head clown, I'm not redrawing any maps to suit your fancy. Not after you made that comment, not after you used the R word. So if you didn't hear, he used the R word to refer to Tim Walz's child. So Tim Walz has a child with Down syndrome. And this particular lawmaker, I think it's Boacek, Mike, he's also got a child with Down syndrome. So he does not take lightly to the use of that slur. If you don't know the slur, it starts with an R. It was a term that used to be used to describe people who were developmentally delayed or cognitively impaired, but it became over the years a very serious slur that was used to insult people. And so now we don't use that term ever for any reason, unless you're someone who's trying to purposely be insulting and offensive. So old boy in Indiana was like, oh, you have slurs? You got slurs? Well, I got to clap back for you. I'm not signing any map laws. Forget that. That's not happening. And I love that for them. I have ancestors who lived in Indiana, and I'm really happy that we got this guy standing up for Indiana. Probably should have stood up sooner. But let's stay focused on the present moment. We don't know what people's line is. We're finding out. And it is a little disturbing that for a lot of people, graping isn't the line, and pet PDF file isn't the line, and ray behavior against all kinds of groups of people isn't the line, and human rights violations and extrajudicial unalivings somehow isn't the line. But homeboy found his line today with the R word, and I'm happy for him. And in related non-news about defectors from the circus, there are apparently now at least 3 red hat lawmakers who are planning to retire before next year. Probably in time to get their pensions the way Marjorie Seen the Light did, because they're all about the gold bullion. They're not going to sacrifice that for any so-called beliefs. However, the important point to realize here is that they're down 3. And they had a very slim majority. They're down. Now their majority is even slimmer. And we have 4 special elections coming up in the midterms. And so there's a very real possibility. And I'm going to just tell you as a psychic, it's definitely happening. But just statistically, or just looking at the facts, you can see that there's a very real possibility that the blue hats are going to become the majority in the House very soon. Which makes it kind of a lame duck house. I don't know if that's the right word. What do you call a house that's full of lame ducks? A gaggle of lame ducks? A house of a gaggle, of a google, of a duckage? Sleepy duckage? And let's talk about some good news relating to the frozen water people. NYC. NYC is representing a whole bunch of people. Saw some QB folks going into a parking structure, trying to get up to no good. And they said, oh, heck no, not on our watch. Hundreds of New Yorkers flooded into this structure, and they chased the frozen water people out. Raid canceled, not raiding today. Power. George, this is not a good time for barking. Power of the people. Oh, and there was another amazing protest that I don't know where it was. Someone tell me in the comments. That had to do with ice scrapers. So clever. All of these people decided to go to that homey despot place, where they're collaborating with the frozen water people to harm lots of our brown-skinned sisters and brothers. Yeah, that place. Whole bunch of people, hundreds of persistence workers, we'll call them, dancers and singers, if you get my meaning. They decided they had to do a little shopping, some very specific shopping. They're like, I feel like it's really icy out, cold out, a lot of ice. I think I need to buy some ice scrapers, and they're only 17 cents, and I really only need one. I only have one windshield. So hundreds of people lined up to buy their 17-cent ice scrapers, and then strangely, coincidentally, they all decided directly after purchasing them that, you know what, they didn't really need an ice scraper, and so let's just go get in the return line, and because I need my 17 cents, especially those people who use their credit card because, fees. So they decided to get in line and get refunds for those ice scrapers, and that pretty much took all day. So they effectively shut down that business of the homey despot place for at least a day. And I'm very, very inspired by this. I think we should do this all over the realm, in every city. Organize your people. Get your people down to the homey place. You need an ice scraper. I really think you do. At least for a few minutes, you need it. You might not really need it, and you might realize that after you get there, but I think you should go there anyway and get one just in case you need one. At least maybe you'll need one for 5 minutes. I'm just saying. I hope everyone's enjoying their family time, however you are spending that time. And I'd like to encourage people during this time of year to take a moment out to think about how you can contribute to the native tribe that lives in your area. What can you do to kind of contribute to make up for the past, right? All of the land that was stolen, all of the G-side that was committed. This time of year during Thanksgiving week is a good time to think about, how can I make amends? How can I do something about that? And if you want to chat more about 3i Atlas, about the circus, I have a lot more news, or you just want to debrief about family kerfuffles, I am going live today at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Tube of You. I hope to see you all there. Handle Jennifer Lisa Vest. We're just going to chill and chat.